A maestro in his own right. An artist who secured the National Award for the Best Male Playback Singer for his debut song. Yes, I'm talking of P Unnikrishnan, joining us on this episode of The Next Guest from the 973 show. Mr. Unnikrishnan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's indeed a pleasure to have you again in Bahrain. And we are here talking after that stellar performance at the Bahrain Kerala Samajam as part of the Indo-Bahrain Dance and Music Festival.
Yes.
Let's begin on that note.
Yeah.
How did you find the audience? How was the experience?
Amazing audience and the amazing sound system. And the sound is very important. I think the engineer was really good. And we really enjoyed the performance. My co-artists, all of them really blended very well. The audience was very receptive. And, we stuck to classical and semi-classical songs, and they really got a good response.
Yeah, I attended it personally, and as the president pointed out, we never realized it was over. So that's why people were still seated. So when you switched off the Shruti box, that's when everybody realized it was done. So that is the best, I think, salutation that and we are really missing Uttara here. I heard that she's a bit unwell, but she was also brilliant. She was also amazing. You have a feather to your cap that you are a National Award winner for your debut song. That was in 2004.
No, 1994.
1994, I'm sorry.
1994 was the song I sang.
Yeah. Ennavale.
And Uyirumni.
Uyirumni, yeah. And history repeated with Uttara.
Yes, that is.
How was that moment?
Actually, when I got it, it was not. In the sense that I was also a little shocked and surprised because it was least expected.
Really?
I didn't.
Okay. That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, and because it never even crossed my mind that these songs would be sent. First of all, they have to be sent to these the National Award jury and all that. They'll have to, and so many songs are there all over the country. So it was. I think it's all the grace of the Divine Almighty. It's nothing I just can't say anything
definitely
else. Of course, nice songs, very beautiful compositions of A.R. Rahman both, and lovely lyrics, especially the Uyirumni on Mother is it's an amazing composition.
So when Uttara fetched it again for her debut song,
that was.
What was the moment?
Yeah, that was a very special moment. In fact, again, it was so unexpected. Came like a bolt from nowhere because she's so young. And
she's just 10, right?
And somebody to consider giving her the National Award. I mean, it was a nice song, but of course, I'm sure there were so many songs, so many good songs. But see, the fact that they chose her is you can't really explain. See, that's again destiny. I would say, to be chosen. The jury, everybody has to agree. She's so young. She's, but I think it's a great, very special moment.
Definitely, she has it in her. Otherwise, she would have never.
So I think it was a blessing in disguise because it became a responsibility. Getting a national award.
I was about to ask you that.
So and it was a lot of pressure for her also.
At her age, I know. I'm sure she would have not even realized at that age,
she didn't
right?
know.
Yeah.
She didn't know what this national award was. So when the award was announced, she was actually sitting in my dad's office and playing some computer games. And then my wife called from on the intercom and told father to ask her to come up, please. A lot of people want to talk to you regarding this award and all that. So you've got the national award. They've announced it. So my father told her that. He said, what achacha, this is only now they gave me one award, no?
Okay.
Let me finish this game. I'll finish this game and I'll go. So that's all. The seriousness.
Yeah, she was
of
really
that.
tiny at that time. I
was
still
only
remember 10.
10.
Yeah. Okay.
She,
You have put in a lot of effort. Like, you come from a background where you meticulously trained yourself to be a singer, isn't it? And especially the classical part of it. But you also took by stride and came into movies as well. Which do you think is close to your heart? Closer to your heart, rather?
I like both, but little closer to the heart is the classical. Because that is more challenging in the sense that it is more creative. Because when you, it is completely extempore. When you sing the alap and the swarams and you go into different ragas and then, you know, that on the spot when you sing with the accompanist, every concert is different and a different experience, exciting. Film music, it is a different ball game altogether because you sing the same songs again and again. So over a period of time, it is a nice thing that I'm able to do this and that, so that, you know, when I get bored of that, I can this is a break. When this becomes monotonous, that's a break.
Okay. How did you enjoy judging the competitions?
Judging was nice. I mean, it's a one thing to look at is, you know, you encourage a lot of talent. You're able to share your perspective and whatever. I mean, we may be right or wrong, but I'm not saying. I mean, there is in music. There's nothing that is right and wrong. You know, because we are able to give our experience. I mean, share our experiences with the contestants and try to mold them and advise them and, you know, make them realize
their potential,
their potential and the nuances, the aesthetics. What is because music has a lot of aesthetics and nuances.
Right.
And so that was a great experience. It's a nice experience being in the show, and also its visibility for always people are always watching you, and then you know, that's a different media. Being in the media is also good as for an artist. It's also important.
This is one question which I always ask whenever I get to talk to people like you, especially musicians who've seen changes happening over the years, you know. I had the opportunity of sitting down with Sri Umayalpuram also. You have seen a genre and a style at your very young age, and you see a lot of change with the younger generation coming up. Especially we live in a time of fusion and remixes and all that, isn't it? That's what the crowd needs. So what is, in your opinion, how do we adapt to this change? What do you think?
Yeah, we also do the same thing. You know, we want to have a pure classical concert, we do a pure classical concert. Otherwise, we do like a fusion concert. We have a keyboard, we have an electric violin, we do classical plus film fusion. So
you cater to the...
Yes, you need to cater to the audience. I mean, after all, you're singing for the audience. Otherwise, you can sit at home and sing. So you understand what the audience wants, and if you're able to adapt to it. See, some people, they either they don't want to do it or they can't do it. So see, adapting to the modern form of music, like film music, a classical singer adapting to film music is not easy. It's difficult. Vice versa also. So you need that kind of you know, the training is very important. First of all, that the classical training is very important. At the same time, you should have listened to a lot of, if you want to balance both, you should have listened to a lot of film music. You need to adapt to that style very carefully. So that's what I'm trying to do with Uttara. She sings, she's comfortable with all the genres generally. Although she's still not ready for a pure Carnatic concert, still we training her for all these alaps and the manodharma aspect. The manodharma aspect, that is the creativity aspect, is the most challenging for any singer to develop that. The on-the-spot singing of this Kalpana Swaras, it will not come. You have to continuously keep singing. You have to keep practicing. So first, they always say, first is imitation. You listen to something and keep imitating. And then repetition, you keep practicing it. And then you ultimately, it's creation. You create it yourself. You're able to create it yourself. So it's a process. It has to evolve and takes time. So that's why this. So we keep.
So you're okay with it, like
now the world is also. I mean with the YouTube and so many things, the social media, people are exposed to so many different genres of music and varied tastes. Artists' tastes are also changing. It's very challenging. You don't sometimes understand what they want. So it's quite challenging that way. But then you need to adapt.
And on that note, you said about the challenge of artists. Have you ever felt even the audience is a challenge? Because when you render a pure classical concert,
the audience only I'm saying.
You said because you said artist, isn't it? That's a real challenge, right?
The audience is actually a challenge for the artist. So you don't understand. Sometimes you won't understand what they exactly were. There'll be different
sets of people. Different demands.
For example, even we were talking about yesterday's concert. I could have sung some film songs, but then with the setup, the violin and mridangam,
and the orchestra,
you have a set pitch that we are singing in classical. You cannot suddenly change that with the gadam and mridangam and the violin. They cannot suddenly change it and these film songs are all in different scales. They are all composed for a certain for a certain scale. The tune is actually composed in such a way. So if you sing it at a lower pitch or a higher pitch, it becomes either too high or it becomes too low. Then the effect of the song goes off. So then it doesn't make sense to sing it.
I get it.
So that's why sometimes you have to. It's a challenge. So that's why I couldn't really manage the film part of it. I'm just giving an example.
Because the thing is,
So although you want to do it,
I understand the limitations.
You have that limitations. So those are the thing. But if I had a keyboard, then it would have been
different.
She could have. So what we do is we have a keyboard and then something called a cajon.
Okay.
It's an instrument. They sit on it and play So and then the electric violin. So if it's an electric violin or the keyboard, they can adapt to any shruti. And then we can sing anything at any. You can change the scale. So any film song you can sing. So that's when it comes to classical, it has to be you're restricted to that.
On that note, do you want to sing 2 lines of any of your favorite film songs for the audience?
Film songs, after yesterday's concert, I'm a little.
I know, that's why I requested, but
I can just sing one peppy song.
Okay, interesting.
தென்மேற்கு பருவ காற்று தேனி பக்கம் வீசும்போது சாரல் இந்த சாரல் தென்மாங்கு பாடிக்கொண்டு சிலு சிலுவென்று சிந்துதம்மா தூரல் முத்தத்தூரல் வெங்காட்டு பொத்த கள்ளி சட்டென்று மொட்டு வீடு செங்காட்டு சில்லி செடி செல்லென்று பூவெடுக்க தென்மேற்கு பருவ காற்று தேனி பக்கம் வீசும்போது சாரல் இன்பச்சாரல் தென்மாங்கு பாடிக்கொண்டு சிலு சிலுவென்று சிந்துதம்மா தூரல் முத்து தூரல்.
Thank you so much.
Actually, this is a song which I sang. It was my first duet.
Okay.
A song which I sang with K.S. Chitra.
Chitra.
Yeah, Rahman's. It's a movie called Karuthamma.
Karuthamma, yeah. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I know your throat is really tired. A little bit into your personal, I think you have a bit of lawyer in you. A bit
I
of
did, yes. I did
an Ayurvedic freak in you.
Yeah, because
a combination.
Ayurvedic. That is because of my family business.
Father or grandfather.
Great grandfather started it.
Yeah.
About 120 years ago. So we have this Ayurvedic brand called Kesari Wellness.
Okay.
So my parents are both Ayurvedic physicians. So
okay.
my mother practices. We have a clinic, and she's been practicing more than 50 years now.
Okay.
So.
And what about this law stint? Did you...
Law, because, when I started my career from school and then college, I was doing so many things at the same time. So I was playing a lot of cricket. I played quite senior level of cricket for many years. Then I was singing, and I was working also. All this at the same time. So I was like confused as to what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. See, at that point, singing as a career was not very, lucrative, or there were not so many opportunities like now. There were no TV channels or shows and social media where you could... And you had all the legends already there. So how would you even make a mark in a situation like that? So we always wanted to play safe. You have a job,
a career, to pursue, and then take this as a
passion. At that point, I'm talking about 30 years 40 years back.
Okay.
Or 35 plus years back, you didn't have many options of doing it. It either was you become a lawyer, or you become an engineer, or you become a doctor, or a chartered accountant.
Yeah, that's it.
And we can't go anything beyond that. There was nothing else. At that point of time, everybody used to, you have to become a doctor, or you become an engineer. Engineering college, you have to go and join, or BCom. Okay. So I thought, okay, let me do law and then do ACS, and maybe it'll help going to the business, maybe do an MBA. So then I did my personal management. So all this I was doing. But I think music was destiny. Okay. I was destined to become a musician. So whatever I did, music would always take me away.
Okay.
So it was only recently that I also got into the business. So just to...
Yeah, especially I read you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah. So it's a nice learning process also. It's quite interesting, because there is a lot of common elements between music and Ayurveda, and it's all very natural, each complementing the other. You can Ayurveda, the lifestyle. Ayurveda is a lifestyle. How you it's important to lead a very what would I say, a disciplined lifestyle.
I think that's the right word.
Yeah, a disciplined lifestyle in terms of your food, your exercise, and then yoga. So these things are all the natural wellness principles, which are very useful. And if it can be adapted to music as musicians, and music is also healing. So there's a lot of interrelated things that happen. So it's nice to since it's a 120-year-old brand and tried and tested, so we want to just take it forward as much as possible, and so that it benefits the society. And we want to really go into a lot of service, and go into a lot of homes, old age homes, or even mentally, physically challenged homes, and try to help patients with these medicines. Those are all my future thoughts and ideas.
Right. Good. As we come to the close, I would want to hear from you your view on the festivals like what you're part of, I haven't seen many like that in Bahrain. I think that's one unique. Even back home, good old days of having that regular festivals is slowly, as you said, the attention span, the availability of various platforms, it's easy to switch from one medium to the other. How do you think these are slowly dying out? Do you think they are really needed, these kind of art and music and dance festivals? How important do you think, as a musician yourself? What do you think about it?
They're so important because every art form has its beauty, and only our country has so many rich art forms, and these have to be preserved. And how can this be preserved? Only if the opportunity is given to artists. They will be motivated to work on themselves and improve, and then how much can you just be practicing? You have to showcase your talent. You need that audience to appreciate. You need that appreciation. So unless these festivals are conducted and this is a beautifully organized festival, all wonderful artists performing. So it was really an honor to be a part of it. So we really truly we feel happy to be a part of it. And I think the association, the Kerala Samaj must be really congratulated for taking, I mean, these are all selfless
yes, indeed.
Exercises because it is out of their passion to give something back to the society. And so many people come, they enjoy, they get to know. It's also sharing of knowledge. So when people perform, so many things happen. There's a two-way. The artist performs, the audience reciprocates, receives something, and they're able to enjoy it and know more about the tradition, the art form, and that is really, really important. But sadly, it's also becoming challenging for many organizations back in India
and even here,
because you need the patronage.
Definitely.
Then you need because ultimately there is cost
involved.
So those costs have to be taken care of. Artists have to be flown and they have to be paid. So if everything has to come together, so you need the patronage. So only people, the corporates can come in, they should come in and support these
very rightly
ventures.
said, because it has to be a collective effort, because preserving such tradition and rich vibrance of our culture and art, it needs to be a collective
everybody,
effort.
The community has to come together and support it.
Yes.
That is very important.
I think you have a son also, right?
I have a son.
Is he into singing?
He also sings. Yeah, he also sings. He plays a piano.
Okay.
And all that, but he's working in the UK.
Okay.
He's an automobile engineer.
Great. And your wife is an artist as well. She's a dancer.
She used to dance earlier, but now she doesn't. She's again started learning, just for the passion to continue. She said she wants to do an arangetram at the age of 60.
Beautiful, isn't it? I really salute her. I have a mother who did her journalism degree at 71, at the age of 71. So amazing. That's a spirit. And I think only women can do that. Yes. I'm sorry. As I was telling you, I belong to a generation where a lot of us were hardcore fans of P Unnikrishnan. And there are songs which we always used to keep close to our heart and still do. And I can't believe that I'm sitting with you, talking to you in my 50s, when in my 20s, I used to really look forward for a chance to meet you or, say a hello to you. Okay. Indeed honored. May I put in a personal request? Can you sing Ennavale for me?
Ennavale. வாய்மொழியும் எந்தன் தாய்மொழியும் என்று வசப்படவில்லையடி வயிற்றுக்கும் தொண்டைக்கும் உருவமில்லா ஒரு உருண்டையும் உருளுதடி காத்திருந்தால் எதிர்பார்த்திருந்தால் ஒரு நிமிஷமும் வருஷமடி கண்கள் எல்லாம் என்னை பார்ப்பது போல் ஒரு கலக்கமும் தோணுதடி இது ஸ்வர்க்கமா நரகமா சொல்லடி உள்ளபடி நான் வாழ்வதும் விடைக்கொண்டு போவதும் உன் வார்த்தையில் உள்ளதடி என்னவளே அடி என்னவளே எந்தன் இதயத்தை துளைத்து விட்டேன் எந்த இடம் அது தொலைந்த இடம் அந்த இடத்தையும் மறந்து விட்டேன்.
Thank you very much for gifting me that one very treasured moment of my career. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. And indeed, we welcome you back again to Bahrain.
Thank you so
and
much.
our best regards to Uttara. We were looking forward to having her. But safe travels. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care and good luck.
So that was P Unnikrishnan, who needs no introduction or conclusion. It was indeed an honor to have this legendary singer with us on this show. So wait for the next exciting, engaging and interesting guest on The Next Guest from the 973 show.